If you had told me 2 or 3 years ago that I would be on YouTube sharing our move abroad journey, I would have said that you're lying. So this YouTube channel is not new. The thing is that I started this YouTube channel about 7 years ago to share some tips about how I was traveling with my toddlers. At the time, it wasn't really to grow a YouTube channel. It wasn't really to grow an audience or anything like that. I was just sharing it because I figured that other people will be curious about it, okay? So I shared a few videos here and there, and they're still available on the channel if you scroll up. But then 2 years ago, something happened. My husband and I have been thinking about moving abroad for years, like before we even got married. But to be honest, I was very nervous about the whole process and I needed to find a way to process my thoughts. I was sharing some of my thoughts with a very good friend of mine, hey Brooke. And I wanted to thank her because she is the one who actually pushed me and challenged me to just share it on YouTube, to just go ahead and share my thoughts. Like she was like, just go and do it. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I wasn't thinking about sharing more on YouTube and having a whole channel to talk about that. That wasn't really my goal. My goal was really to put my thoughts out there. It was just bubbling right there. And I didn't know where to go with those thoughts. I didn't know of any community with other people who wanted to move abroad. I was in a lot of travel groups, so people who wanted to travel, but not necessarily move abroad. And specifically moving to the continent of Africa, okay? That was like unheard of. And so groups like the Exodus Summit or Black Seed Global were not on my radar at that time. So to me, I didn't really have an avenue to share my thoughts and my experiences with anybody else who had similar plans. So it's been about 2 years since I shared that first video. And so today, in the second year anniversary of that video, I wanted to come back and kind of share what I've learned along the way. And as we're closing 2023, I think that is a good time to share my thoughts about my journey so far on YouTube and really how it has changed my life and how opportunities have opened up to me just because I am on YouTube. I don't even have 1,000 subscribers at the time of this recording, but this YouTube journey has already been life-changing. So I'm going to look at my notes down here. That way I make sure that I don't miss any of my points that I wanted to share with you. And I really hope that this inspires you a little bit. If you are on the fence about, starting your own YouTube channel and you feel like, oh, nobody's really interested in what I have to share, I am the first one to tell you that that's a lie, that people are out there waiting for your message, okay? So if you needed a sign, this is your sign to get started with your own YouTube channel, okay? So the first thing I wanted to share is that I started to share, like I said earlier, and I stayed because I wanted to share, inspire, and really encourage people. So when I started, I wanted to share travel tips, how to travel with toddlers, because I had toddlers at the time and I was traveling a lot for conferences or even for personal reasons. And I restarted my channel again because I had another focus. I was still focusing on family travel, but specifically on traveling to the continent of Africa and moving abroad, moving to Africa as well. So my focus got a little more niche, but it's still in the whole niche of travel, okay? So I just got a little more specific about moving abroad, moving to Africa with a family. My goal has always been to share my experience and to encourage people and to inspire people in any way that I can by just sharing my own thoughts and my own experience. So the advice that I would have for you is if you want to start a YouTube channel, don't do it because of the money, because sure, you can make money and all of that. But the point I'm trying to make is that what is going to keep you going, because it's a lot of work, right? YouTube is a lot of work. What is going to keep you going is the fact that you enjoy it. You are doing it not because of the money, but you're doing it because you enjoy sharing the information that you're sharing. Okay, so that was point number one. Number two is all about the community. When I started this YouTube channel, I didn't see anybody out there doing the same thing as me. I was following a lot of YouTube channels about people traveling abroad, but then I didn't have a lot of people sharing the process of preparing to move abroad as a family, okay? So very specific. I had a very specific need of things that I wanted to see out there. And because I didn't see it out there, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I mean, Brooke really pushed me to be the person to do it. Like, if you don't see it out there, why aren't you the person to do it and to put it out there, okay? So once I did that, then a community started forming around my content. All of you who are watching me today, you showed up because I shared what I shared, the message that I had to share. And I am so appreciative of every single one of you who subscribe, who watch, who share my videos, because it's a community now. We're all part of the Tokende Travel family. And this not only warms my heart, but it also reminds me that, you know, the things that you want to see out there, if you don't see them out there, you be the person. Go out there and do it. Do it. And you'll see other people join you, and other people will be attracted to your content. And that's how you will form a community. You just have to get started and people will come. The third thing about how YouTube really changed my life in this past 2 years is that it has given me fuel. As I was sharing more content, I was meeting more people in real life and online who wanted to do the exact same thing, whether it was to move to Portugal, move to Mexico, move to Thailand, or move to Rwanda or other countries on the continent. Even people who wanted to move to Cameroon and Cote d'Ivoire specifically, just like me. And I'm like, who knew there were people out there who want to do the exact same thing, who have small children and want to do the same thing. It really felt like, when I started, it really felt like I was the anomaly. But once you get started and once you share your message, you realize that there's a lot of people out there just like you. And that really fuels me. That really encourages me. Every view, every subscriber, every comment, every like, everything, or even if I don't get any of those, right? I still get fueled. I still get empowered. I still get motivated because, like I said, it's not about the money. It's not about the metrics. It's not about the likes and the subscribers and all those numbers. Those are important, sure. But it's really about the message that you are trying to share with the world. As long as you're putting your message out there, I mean, I'm happy with that. That's just that, the opportunity that I get to share my message, to share my goals, to share my experiences, that right there makes me happy. Another thing is that sometimes you don't realize the impact of what you're doing. And to me, I am an introvert, okay? I am a proud introvert, okay? And so being on YouTube, and when you don't even know who is watching you, it's kind of weird because I'm used to being on camera. So I was a college professor, and so I'm used to teaching and all of that. And I also have a Facebook group for my first business where I have thousands of people there. But I know who's in that group, okay? I kind of vet people who are coming into the group. But YouTube is different because you are broadcasting to the world. So people that you don't know are watching, and it's a little, it makes you a little uncomfortable in a way. But once you get started and you know that, and of course, sometimes there are trolls or things like that. People will give you some weird comments. But at the end of the day, focus on the positive, focus on the people that you're impacting. And when people tell you that you are actually inspiring them, motivating them, and all of that, it really keeps you going. It makes you realize that all of it is really worth it. So you put your fears aside, you put your, everything that makes you nervous aside, the need to be perfect and the need to have super edited videos and all of that. You put all of that aside for the sake of the message, for the sake of the impact on the people that you might not even know, who might not even tell you, who might not even give you feedback. We appreciate the feedback, of course, through comments and all of that. But even if you don't, it's fine. It's fine. As long as the message is helping. To me, that's all that matters. And with that said, it has also helped me grow in my confidence. Like I said, I'm used to video and all of that, but YouTube is totally new. It's a new platform with different rules that you have to learn, the algorithm and all of that, tagging and end cards and middle cards and all of these things, intros and hooks. And there's a lot to learn on YouTube, but it has given me the confidence to show up the way I am, the confidence to be who I am, who I naturally am, and to show up that way, whether I have braids, whether I have makeup, whether I have short hair, whether I have kids screaming in the background or not, I can show up as me. And the more videos I create, the more confident I am in my message. And to be honest, when I started, one of the reasons why I didn't want to start sharing my message and the journey about moving abroad is because we hadn't moved abroad yet. We didn't even have a date. We didn't have a destination. We still don't. As of today, we don't have a date. We don't have a destination. We only know that it's 2024 and that it's going to be in Africa, either Cameroon or Cote d'Ivoire. But we don't have the plane tickets yet, right? So we are not all set. And to me, it was very hard to talk about it when I hadn't done it yet. Okay. A lot of people share online what they've done it, and they talk about how they're living their life abroad and all of that. And for me, it was like, oh, I'm sharing the plan with people. And what if it doesn't come to pass? What if something happens? And what if I make a fool of myself? What if all these questions are in my mind? And sometimes they still come back. But at the end of the day, I remember that the things that I wanted to see were the process. I wanted to see the process of packing, the process of deciding, the process of doubt, the process of how do we get the kids involved? How do we put the house for sale, or do we, all of these things. I wanted to see all of that, and I wasn't seeing it on YouTube. So that's why I wanted to be able to share my own process as well and go along with you. Okay, so as I get answers, I can share those with you. But if I don't have an answer, well, I can't tell you exactly because I don't have the answer yet. Okay, so I enjoy seeing that process. So I figured that would be also a way for me to grow in our process of, in any ways, in all the different ways we have to get ready for that move abroad, whether it's financially, whether it's psychologically, whether it's logistically, all these different ways that we are making progress on. Okay. At the end of the day, I have to remind myself that the mission is greater than the risk. Yes, there's risk that we might not make it, and that's okay. The mission still remains the same. It's to inspire and encourage other families to travel to and move to Africa, just like we are aspiring to do next year. So yes, I've thought about, okay, what would my family say? What would my former colleagues say? What would my friends say? What would strangers say? What would the trolls say? But at the end of the day, you have to remember that it's your story and you have the mission to share it with the people who actually care for it. So the trolls, who cares about them? It's really about the person who needs to hear your message. Even if it's one person that needs to hear that message, that's all it matters. You have accomplished your mission. Another thing that YouTube has done for me, and it has changed my life, is that it has validating the thoughts that I have, and it has validating this YouTube channel as a viable business. So I said earlier that you have to start because you want to share that information. But guess what? You can also make this information a business for you. So you can monetize your channel. I am not monetized yet at the time of this recording. I don't have 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 watch hours yet, but I have other ways I make money from this channel, whether it's through my course or through consultations. I have other ways to make money through this channel. So because of that, I have received validation that the message is needed and that I can also monetize through different services that I offer. Talking about services, I'm hosting a free challenge in the next few days. I'm going to put the link in the description as well as in the comments. This is the same challenge that I ran a few months ago and that I'm running again. It's really to teach you how to start your own online business. Even if you have no idea where to start, even if you don't have a business idea, even if you don't have any audience, all you want is to explore the possibility of even running your own online business that is location independent and that is financially independent, then this challenge is definitely for you. Join us. This is going to be free. We are going to be spending 5 days together where I'm going to walk you through the process of starting your very own online business in just 30 days. So again, the link is in the description. I'm going to show you how you can start your online business in 2024. Last but not least, the way YouTube has really changed my life in the past 2 years is by reminding me to keep things simple. I was really intimidated by all the people who I see on YouTube. We all see them. They have super editing, they have sound effects, they have all the gimmicks, right? And it's great. I'm really happy for them. I admire that. But this is not something that I do. I don't have all the equipment. And actually, I bought the equipment. I bought the lights and everything. But guess what? I don't even use them. I think I've used them the first 2 videos or something like that. I don't use them. I still use natural light. I have my window right in front of me in my office that is also a guest room with a lot of laundry on the bed next to me. But I keep it simple. I'm still filming with my iPhone. I don't film with anything else. I don't have a vlogging camera. Everything is done on my iPhone. It's an iPhone 13s, I think. And that's it. It's good enough. It's good quality. The sound, sometimes I forget to put my microphone on. I don't have a microphone on this video. I think I've only used my microphone on 4 videos out of 100 videos that I've shared on this channel so far. And maybe one person told me that they couldn't hear me well. That's all. One person in 100 videos. Okay, so I had to remember to keep it simple and to go with what's important. The editing, sure, it's good to have good editing. It's good to have some text that pop-ups and things like that. It's all good, okay? But you have to get started with what you have. Do you have a phone? Get started with that. Do you have a microphone? Get started with that. Do you have light in front of you? Get started with that. Don't use equipment as an excuse. The editing that I do it on my phone. I cannot stand editing on a computer, on my laptop. So I do it on InShot, on my phone while I watch TV or while I'm in bed. It works for me, and that's how I like it. I don't want it complicated. And so far, it still gives me joy. I still enjoy the process of doing it. Not editing, though, that's something that we'll probably outsource in 2024. But I enjoy the process of just coming up in my office, propping my iPhone on my stand, and started talking. Sure, I mess up. Sure, I have bloopers. And sure, I have an accent. And sure, I pronounce English words differently. But it just means that I speak more than one language. So at the end of the day, even if English is not your first language, just like me, it's fine as long as your message can be shared and understood by your viewer. That's all that matters. And I used to be self-conscious about that. And when I watch my videos, I don't actually really watch my videos, to be honest. I rarely rewatch videos because I just don't. To me, it's like done is better than perfect. Like, I just want it done and that's it, right? Not that I don't want it to be good. I'm just saying that it doesn't have to be perfect. Otherwise, I'm never going to put content out there. All I want is content that is good and that is done well. And so far, it has worked, okay? That's my philosophy. That's how I roll in my businesses. I keep it lean. I keep it simple. As long as it works, I mean, I'm not going to do all the bells and whistles if I can't. Like, if it's going to put a lot of stress, too much stress on me. I mean, hey, I'm a busy mom, okay? So I like things to be simple, lean, short and sweet, okay? I don't want it to be time consuming because I have other things to do other than YouTube, okay? We all have a life outside of YouTube. YouTube is just a part of it, all right? So it doesn't have to consume your whole life, but you have to give it a try. And that would be my advice to you. As we go into 2024, YouTube has changed my life in so many ways, from confidence, from having community of like-minded people that I've met in real life and online, as well as the fuel to keep going and to keep sharing the message because of you out there who are telling me that this is helpful. You're telling me that you're trying to do the same thing or you've done the same thing. And so I'm forever grateful for YouTube. I'm excited about what's in store for 2024. More videos, maybe more scouting trips, and definitely a move abroad, a date and a destination that I'll be sharing with you very, very soon. So if you enjoy this video, make sure you give it a like, make sure you share it with a friend, and obviously make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss anything in our journey as we are preparing to move abroad. I want to thank you again for being part of the Tokende family. I wish you a happy new year. And if you have any questions for me, make sure you share them in the comments. I'll come back and I will answer your questions. Until next time, bye.